Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is test number 2. I've made some adjustments to the setup here, different things going on. I raised the lights in the background to get rid of the dark spot in the top corner. I have a new tripod stand to raise the camera up to allow for better. Well, it's the rule of thirds, right? So it's better. That's all you need to know, is that it's better in terms of that. I also, you can't see it, but if I put my hand far enough over here, I have the camera zoomed out a bit again, just because it's rule of thirds, it looks better. But the problem is you can see the burn poles. They're right here. My hand is going behind. And they're over here as well. And I just have them cropped out of the background, but it allows to give a slightly better picture, obviously. Looks a little bit better. And so we've done that as well as an addition. I also covered up with a sheet, not a sheet, I shouldn't say that. It's like some corrugated plastic, kind of like a cardboard except made of plastic. And it's shielding the light coming back towards me this way, which should help a little bit reduce the amount of backlighting that was happening on my shoulders. Now, you wouldn't have seen it in the first video because I was wearing a black t-shirt, and obviously black absorbs light, and so you wouldn't have seen that. However, I did a couple of test videos just to send upstairs to Vegas to see if it would actually work properly. With a gray shirt, and I'm now wearing a red shirt, and you could really see the glare coming off the back of the shoulders, so that's changed as well. Some other changes that I have made, as per some suggestions made by some people who really know DSLR and some video, other than the rule of thirds, was changing my shutter speed back to 1/60th. I also, because of that, had to play with the f-stop a bit. I think I ended up at f-stop 3.5. 4 was a little bit too dark, and ISO 100. That's what we're sitting at now, and that still allows for the background to be pure white. It allows me to be relatively well lit. I'm still considering rigging up a way of filtering some of these lights that are coming at me. I'm actually not too badly lit from the front. It might be a bit on the harsh side, but because of the way I do it, these are custom lights and stuff, I'd have to come up with a system of doing that. I have a vague idea of how I'm going to do it, but I haven't quite come up with it yet. And of course, you guys can let me know if you think it's even necessary. It might not be necessary. We might be able to survive with it just the way it is. You'll also notice that the audio is a bit different. Now, I tested... the last video, I was editing the audio the same as I do with the StarCraft stuff, and that's with the Blue Snowball USB microphone. Obviously, this is not the Blue Snowball. This is a Rode audio mic plugged into an H1 recorder, and so much different setup. And so it required a different technique of editing, different compression, so on and so forth. So you can let me know how it sounds. It will sound different than you're used to. It should sound relatively well. I played around with the audio for an entire afternoon, or most of the afternoon yesterday, to come up with the best sounding audio that I could, given the conditions. Obviously, this is still a very echoey room. I'm using a shotgun mic. It is a reasonable distance from me. I would say, if we do this, it's going to look really weird, but give or take about 7 inches away right now. I can't tilt the shotgun up anymore. You'll see it in frame. You might even see it in frame now. I haven't actually looked to see if it's coming up on the frame just a little bit. Sometimes it does. Yeah, so those are the changes we've made. I think it probably looks a little bit better. The proportions will be a bit better. The problems that we're going to run into, no matter what, are the amount of room that I have in here. As you can see, my hands do go outside of the frame here, or get covered up by some white because I'm blocking these areas out with an overlay in Vegas itself. And so when Jeff and I are both in frame, when he's sitting next to me here, and he will be sitting on this side, or I'll be sitting there and he'll be sitting here. That will be a bit of a problem because we're both fairly broad in the shoulders, and I can't put the camera back any further. I can't make the background any bigger. It's a 7'10" by 7 foot wide background, and I don't have any more space here to do that with. So some of the video guys will probably pick up on that when we start doing videos together. By myself, this setup works quite great. You know, I can still be a bit of a hand talker and my hands don't go outside of the frame, but the moment Jeff and I are in, our shoulders might be out of frame and stuff. And in order to make the video look decent, it'll look like we're in a good spot. We're just not going to be able to talk, I guess, too much with our hands, or we're going to have to be very close together with our shoulders so that we don't exit the sides or anything like that. But in any case, not too bad. I think it looks pretty good. I think it sounds pretty good. You guys can let me know, the audio guys, the video guys, even everybody out there can let me know what you think of this version. We won't always be doing test videos, believe it or not. Jeff and I haven't gotten together to do anything with this setup yet, and I've been trying to tweak it so that it's done, so I don't have to mess with it anymore, up until that point when he comes over and we actually start doing stuff with this setup. And of course, I'll be doing stuff by myself. That's what this was planned for originally, was just to be for my solo channel, but now we're going to use it for LAGTV. Something I also wanted to ask was what you guys had for ideas, if you have any ideas, for what Jeff and I could use this for. Now I will say, in before RedTube collab, because I know some of you are going to say that, but in all seriousness, I would love to know your ideas. I would love to know what you guys think we should do here. I know Jeff and I have a couple of ideas of what we might be able to do. We might be doing a series on our experiences in video games. We might also do like a gentleman's rant version or type thing, but applying video games to it instead of just everyday stuff, just applying it specifically to the video game realm, which I think would be kind of neat. Love those gentleman rant guys. These guys are awesome. Stuff like that. We do have a couple other ideas as well that we're going to be, testing out and seeing how they do and what you guys think about them. But we'd like to know what you guys have for ideas too, because why not? So you can let us know in the comments below. And again, one more time, please let me know what the audio and video is like. There's only so much I can do here. I can't put the camera back further. I can't zoom out really any further because we're already at the maximum for the width here. My lighting is limited in that I built it with my father to save money because lighting is so damn expensive and so on and so forth. So just let me know what you think. Of course, be honest, but at the same time, be reasonable in suggestions that you make. If you're wondering what this whole setup is, I can let you know what it is. I'll show you guys eventually. But for those of you who are interested in the actual mechanics behind it, I have a Canon T4i with a Sigma 17 to 55 millimeter lens, I believe is what's on there right now. The lighting that I have in front of me, my dad and I built adjustable 7-foot poles with different mounting holes on it for the lighting. There are 6 100 watt equivalent daylight CFLs in each, 6 there and 6 here. Technically you're supposed to have a main light and a fill light, but Jeff and I will both be here, and so with uneven lighting it would look kind of odd. Behind here, burning the background out, we have another 6, same temperature, same everything, daylight 100 watt equivalent CFLs. Again on 7-foot poles, and they're just on a vertical line. And because they throw more light out the sides of the bulbs, they are turned sideways so that the light is being thrown. And then, like I said, right where my hand disappears, I put a cover on today of plastic corrugate board to reflect the light back that way, reduce the amount of shoulder glare. You're never going to be able to get all of it because we're sitting so close to the background, which is white and reflecting the light back on us. But it did help a little bit. And then of course above we have 2 more for overhead lighting, 2 more 100 watt equivalent CFLs, all the same color temperature, all the same wattage, so that there isn't fighting with different colors and so on and so forth. All the same maker and everything else, but everything in here has been made by wood, by hand, by my father and I for mounting all this stuff. Dude did the electric for it and stuff. Below here, like I said earlier, is a Rode shotgun mic with the Zoom H1 recorder, and that's on a tripod and sitting just out of sight here. And then we're just sitting on a couple of stools that we had for the kitchen. The background itself is made out of white photo background paper that people would use for backdrops. You can get them in rolls of like 60 feet or something like that. And Dad and I built a 7x10 by 7 foot frame out of wood and then stretched the paper over top of it. And that's what's making it up behind. So again, I will eventually show you guys this whole setup on camera, but that's so you guys know, one, I can't get the camera back further. I can't sit closer to the camera. This is about the dimensions that we can work with, just for those who are trying to help me with audio video. I will try and soundproof the room a little bit. You know, I might get some egg crate foam or something like that to try and dampen the sound on the main walls, the wall I'm speaking into and this side wall as well, eventually. But the audio does sound relatively well, and when it is, if I do sound dampen it, it will of course be even better. But that's it. Again, there won't be infinite test videos, but I just wanted to give you guys an update after taking the feedback from the first video. And hopefully this looks good. Hopefully it sounds good. And that's going to be it for now. This has been Nova War. And if you're wondering why I haven't been wearing my glasses, it's because if I put these on and move my head around, you'll be able to see the lights that are actually shining on me from those angles. That's why I don't have the glasses on. But yeah, that's going to be it for now, ladies and gentlemen. Please leave some comments, whether we're going in the right direction or not, and as according to you. And of course, please let us know what you guys might want to see with this stuff. And then for all you audio video guys out there as well, and even if you're not, I just want to know what you think on how it looks. But for now, ladies and gentlemen, this has been Nova War, coming to you from the fine locale of Canuckville, Canada. Please stay safe, have a good one, and as always, good luck. Batman.